Us about the Buddhism. So it is catered to religious striving of the time. So it was the midway between the Hindus and Jainism. Buddhism presented the ascetic tradition to Indian society, and the main thing is it had more followers in abroad than in India. So it is the one of the religion which is imprints that India has left on other civilization. Now, the background and the causes for the rise of Jainism and Buddhism have already we have discussed is. So now we are going to discuss about the Buddhism. Discuss about the founder of the Buddhism, that is Gautama Buddha. So he also born in Kshatriya clan of Sakya, and according to a legend, he was born in 563 BC in Lumbini near Kapil Vastu, which is in Nepal. His name was Siddharth. His father Sudhodana was the ruler of Kapil Vastu. Like Mahavira, he was also from his childhood moves or pursuits towards the spiritual, and he has all kind of luxuries life, but he has no effect on him, and he was married at young age to a princess called Yashodhara, and he had a son also named Rahul. Now we are going to discuss about the great renunciation period, जिसमें उन्हें फील हुआ कि नहीं, जीवन का जो महत्व है उसे जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है. सो व्हेन ही वाज वेन विद हिज चैरिटियर्स कहा जाता है जो घुड़सवार होता है, तो उसके साथ वो जा रहे थे. ठीक है, अपने ही टाउन में घूम रहे थे. सो ही हैड सीन वन ओल्ड मैन, देन ही हैड सीन one sick man who is groaning with pain, and then he had seen a dead body, and at the last he had seen a saint who is meditating just for getting a salvation. So these sites are the four great sites of Gautam Buddha, which has changed him a lot, and he left his home, his wife, his child, everything to just to get the to just get the answers of why the peoples are in so pain. So this period, this four great side is known as the Great Renunciation period of Lord Gautam Buddha. Now, enlightenment of Gautam Buddha. So अपना घर छोड़ने के बाद when he searched for the truth, इधर से उधर जा रहे थे. So he even studied under renowned teacher of Rajgriha, and then he went to Gaya. So after practicing several penance, the penance का मतलब जो मैंने आपको पहले बताया तपस्या, and he lead a life of extreme austerity, which means a very simple life. Finally, at the age of 35, Gautama attained enlightenment at Bodh Gaya in Bihar, and from then onwards he began to be called the Buddha or enlightened one. Chakra Parivartans. So at the place of Buddha where he got enlightenment, later on a temple which is known as Mahabodhi temple was constructed, and the peepal tree was known as Mahabodhi tree, where he under the tree where he got enlightenment. Buddha was also known as Tathyagat, the founder of the truth. After the enlightenment, he embarked on preaching his religion, and he delivered the first sermon at the Deer Park in Sarnath near Varanasi in the presence of 5 ascetics. Ascetics matlab sant. This event in the history of Buddhism is known as Dharma Chakra Parivartan, or the turning of the wheels of sacred law. So Buddha's fame spread far and wide. For another 40 years he traveled all over the country spreading his message. He established a Bodh Sangh, which we call Buddhist order, at Magad. He had a large number of followers, including the rulers of Magad, Kosala, Kosambi. His disciples were from all classes of the society. Gautama Buddha, in his last year, went to Kushinagar, which is near Gorakhpur district in Uttar Pradesh. He obtained Mahaparinirvar at the age of 80 in 483 BC at Kushinagar. His disciples took his sacred remains to 8 different places where huge mounds called stupas were erected. Discuss about the teaching of the Buddhism. So Buddha followed a simple path and inspiration for the people to lead a simple life. So his teaching has been reconstructed from the stories found mainly in the Sutta Pitaka. His message to people was that the world is full of suffering and a man could attain salvation by the following his teachings contained in the Eightfold Path and Four Noble Truths. So the Four Noble Truths are first, the world is full of suffering. Like for an example, कि जैसे कि हम एक बच्चा आता है धरती पे एंड देन ही ग्रोन अप, तो पूरे उसमें वो कहीं ना कहीं किसी ना किसी से सफ़र करता है. लाइक फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ही लर्न, ठीक है, और ही ट्राई टू लर्न एवरीथिंग. सफरिंग इन द सेंस लाइक हेल्थ इश्यूज ऑल्सो आर देयर. फिर उसका इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस होती हैं. सो लाइफ इज़ फुल ऑफ सफरिंग. नेक्स्ट इज़ द सफरिंग हैज़ अ कॉज. और वो सारी जो हम सफ़र करते हैं लाइफ में, चाहे फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस हो, चाहे हेल्थ इश्यूज़ हो, या चाहे रिलेशनशिप इश्यूज़ हो, इट्स ऑल हैपन जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ अ कॉज. अब वो कॉज क्या हो सकता है? कहीं ना कहीं हम गलत होते हैं, हमारे जो पूर्व जन्म के जो कर्म होते हैं उनका भी इफ़ेक्ट होता है. सो डिज़ायर इज़ द कॉज ऑफ सफरिंग एंड द सेकेंड इज़ आवर डिज़ायर्स. हमारी इच्छा कि जितना भी मिले वी नेवर सेटिस्फाइड, वी वांट मोर एंड मोर. सो ये डिज़ायर भी जो है हमारे सफरिंग का बहुत बड़ा कॉज होता है कि अगर हम जितना हमारे पास है हम उसी से सेटिस्फाइड हो रहा, तो आई थिंक कि हमें फिर सफ़र करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. लेकिन हमारी आदत ही है कि एज मोर वी गेट, एज मोर वी एक्सपेक्टेड. So if desire stops, suffering can also be stopped. The same thing as I told you कि the last one is अगर हम एक्सपेक्ट करना बंद कर दें, हमारी डिज़ायर्स ख़त्म हो जाए, सो वी नेवर बी सफ़र. ठीक है, क्योंकि हम लोग क्या करते हैं, जितना हमें मिला है हम उसके बाद फिर सेविंग्स करना हमें और भी चाहिए. इफ़ वन होम इज़ sufficient for you, then why you are buying more homes? दैट इज़ यू डिडंट नीड इट, है ना. रहोगे तो आप एक ही घर में, लेकिन और भी 4-5 घर खरीद के रखने का क्या मतलब बनता है. बट वी डिड, हम ये ऐसा करते हैं क्योंकि हमें ये लगता है कि नहीं, हमारी डिज़ायर्स बढ़ते जा रहे हैं. क्योंकि उसी तरह हम अपना पावर दिखाएंगे. सी हाउ मच पावर प्रॉपर्टी आई हैव, हाउ मच माई बैंक बैलेंस, माई कार्स, ऑल दिस थिंग्स इज़ यूज टू शो सोसाइटी दैट हाउ मच powerful I am and how much richest person I am. but इससे कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है. क्यों? क्योंकि आफ्टर अ डे व्हेन यू गोइंग टू स्लीप, तुम्हारे दिमाग में एक टेंशन रहता है कहीं मेरे घर में कोई क्राइम हो ना जाए. तो इतना सामान रख के फ़ायदा क्या है? जितनी आपकी ज़रूरत है आप उतना यूज़ करोगे, देन द पुअर्स ऑल्सो विल गेट अ चांस टू बाय सच थिंग्स. बट होता क्या है, हम लोग अपनी एक्सपेक्टेशंस को ख़त्म नहीं करते हैं और इसी वजह से हम इतना सफ़र करते हैं. कुछ लोग होते हैं जो जिन्हें मिल जाता है, कुछ लोग होते हैं जिन्हें नहीं मिलता. जिन्हें नहीं मिलता वो सबसे ज़्यादा सफ़र करते हैं. लाइक वी द मिडिल क्लासेस, वी एक्सपेक्ट मोर बट वी अचीव just few of them. Eightfold Path. So the way to nirvana means salvation in Buddhism, or the path that leads to removal of suffering, is known as Eightfold Path or Ashtanga mark or the middle path. So it is a path midway between luxurious living and hard penance, means hard tapasya. So it includes first right action, so to remain away from theft, luxuries and violence. राइट एक्शन का मतलब हुआ कि अगर हम चोरी और लग्जरियस लाइफ और वायलेंस से अगर हम दूर रहे तो हमारा जो एक्शन होगा वो परफेक्ट होगा. नेक्स्ट इज राइट थॉट, सो टू रिमेन अवे फ्रॉम एम्प्टी रिचुअल्स एंड वर्ल्डली इविल्स. सो जो रिचुअल्स जिसका कोई मतलब नहीं बनता वो रिचुअल्स करके, ठीक है, और सोसाइटी को दिखाना, जो दिखावा हम करते हैं, ठीक है, अगर हम उन सब चीज़ों से बाहर आ जाए तो वी आर हैविंग अ राइट थॉट. नेक्स्ट इज़ राइट बिलीफ, टू गिव अप डिज़ायर. राइट बिलीफ मतलब अपनी डिज़ायर्स छोड़ दो, जितना है उतने में ही खुश रहो, लेकिन वी एक्सपेक्ट मोर, इसलिए हम सफ़र करते हैं. नेक्स्ट इज़ राइट लिविंग, सो नॉट टू हैव डिसऑनेस्ट डीलिंग विद अदर्स. अगर आप किसी के लिए कुछ मन में ख़राब रखोगे, ठीक है, अगर आप किसी के लिए डिसऑनेस्ट होगे, अगर आप किसी को चीट करोगे, सो दैट इज़ नॉट अ राइट लिविंग. राइट लिविंग मतलब आप दूसरों से किसी भी तरीके से डिसऑनेस्ट नहीं होगे, आप ऑनेस्टी से ही काम करोगे. नाउ द नेक्स्ट इज राइट स्पीच. सो राइट स्पीच इज मीन दैट यू स्पीक ट्रूथ, you not use some bad words, ठीक है, which is not socially accepted. So this is right speech, means the speech which never hurts anyone. Right efforts, right efforts means you work hard for achieving your goal, but you never take a wrong path for achieving your goal, ठीक है, and you think about for the welfare of the others. So this is called a right efforts. Now the next is right recollections. So think about pure thing. So it means कि जो चीज़ें जो आपने अपने जीवन में ख़राब किया है, ठीक है, उसके बारे में वो चीज़ें कभी नहीं करना. और आपके दिमाग में अगर कभी कुछ ख़राब करने का आता है तो जस्ट लीव दैट थॉट, ठीक है, उसके बारे में बार बार मत सोचो, अच्छे के लिए सोचो. राइट मेडिटेशन, सो कॉन्सेंट्रेट ऑन ओनली वॉट इज़ राइट. जो चीज़ सही है सिर्फ उसी के लिए फोकस्ड रहो और कुछ नहीं. सो दीज आर द 8-fold path of the Buddha which help people for not suffering their attitude towards God. So Buddha held that the whole universe was controlled by dharma, a universal law. So he was silent about the existence of God, though he never formally denied it. Like Mahavira, he emphasized on non-violence. Into the code of conduct, so he formulated a code of conduct for his followers. So these included the following. First, not to tell a lie, झूठ नहीं बोलना है. Not to own property, ठीक है, कोई भी प्रॉपर्टी मतलब आपके नाम से नहीं होना चाहिए. नॉट टू कंज्यूम अल्कोहलिक ड्रिंक्स, अल्कोहल नहीं लेना है. नॉट टू कमिट वॉलेंस, वॉलेंस नहीं करना. वॉलेंस मतलब किसी को मारना नहीं है, ठीक है, मारधाड़ नहीं करना, हिंसा नहीं करनी है. नॉट टू इंडल्ज इन करप्ट प्रैक्टिसेस, जो चीट प्रैक्टिसेस होता है, लाइक घूस लेना या किसी के प्रॉपर्टी मतलब अपना बना लेना, तो ऐसा कोई करप्ट practices नहीं करना है. So these are the code of conduct of Lord Buddha. Like Hinduism, Buddha also believed in karma. So he also followed the same theory of karma, like that man is the maker of his destiny and is believed in rebirth. So whatever you did in this life, so according to your karma you will get punishment or you can get good life in the next birth. So the evil deeds will be punished. Therefore man should follow a middle path, means it is karma which decide the types of man's existence in the next life. So we need to work hard, we need to be care about our karma. It should be good, it should be pure, and it shouldn't be violent. So it is called the wheel of existence. The next is stress on morality. So Buddha insists on a life which is based on good actions. So his followers also enjoin the practice non-violence and to lead upright life. Live in nirvana, which we call salvation, which we call moksha. So ultimate goal of life is to attain salvation. So it is a peaceful state of mind where people conquer all disease, makes the person free from cycle of the birth and death. मोक्ष मिलने का मतलब यही है कि आप ये जो हर लाइफ के बाद दूसरी लाइफ जीनी हमें पड़ती है. मतलब एज आई टोल्ड यू इन द जैनिज्म ऑल्सो दैट आवर सोल इज़ नेवर एंडिंग, इट जस्ट चेंज द बॉडी. सो उस चीज़ से फ्री हो जाने को ही निर्वाणा कहा जाता है. गौतम बुद्धा बिलीव्ड इन यूनिवर्सल ब्रदरहुड. So he preached universal brotherhood of mankind. He wanted people live in peace, setting aside all their differences. He invited people of all classes and races to join Buddhism. Buddha never believed in yajnas, so because he said it cannot change a man's destiny. Sacrifices and rituals are just a empty ceremony. It doesn't affect on the life of the people. Whatever has written, it has to be happen in the life of a person. It will happen. These yajnas and sacrifices and rituals never have any impact on human's life. Like Mahavira, Lord Buddha also believed in ahimsa, which we call non-violence. So he also give importance to sanctity of life and follow the path of non-violence. So in his conduct and values, he has given that superiority is based on birth, fellow feelings, compassion for young and weak, true men and women to Buddhist teachings. Means that we should be compassion for everyone, which we can see from our surrounding, and especially for the weaker person, for the woman and for the young ones, we should be full of compassion. Organization. So in the organization, first is the Sangh. So the organization for teaching of Buddhism came to be known as Sangh. So it was a monastic order established to spread Buddhism. So later the Sangh became a powerful institution. It helped to spread Buddhism far and wide. The principles that govern the Sangh are the following. Memberships which govern the Sangh. So the members of monastic order were called bhikshuks, which we call monks, and bhikshunis, nuns. So they were required to renounce the world before joining the Sangh. The minimum age was 15 years during the Buddha's time. The member had to take the oath, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami, and Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. It means, I'll take shelter under Buddha, I take shelter under religion, I take shelter under the Sangh. The follower had to undergo training for 10 years, and next is 10 commandment. Members had to lead to disciplined life and follow the 10 commandments. Commandments means paramita. First is to speak the truth, सच बोलो, to abide by ब्रह्मचर्य, ब्रह्मचर्य को एक तरीके से उसे फॉलो करो, ठीक है. नॉट टू हार्म क्रिएचर्स, किसी भी क्रिएचर को हार्म नहीं पहुंचाना है. नॉट टू ओन प्रॉपर्टी, तुम्हारे नाम से कोई प्रॉपर्टी नहीं होगी. टू शन म्यूज़िक एंड डांसिंग, ठीक है. म्यूज़िक एंड डांसिंग को पसंद करो, बट ये नहीं कि आप भी डांस कर रहे हो, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होना चाहिए. टू टेक मील्स ओनली एट अ फिक्स टाइम, एक ही फिक्स टाइम में, जैसे जो भी एक फ़िक्स टाइम होगा उसी टाइम में खाना खाना. नॉट टू यूज़ इंटॉक्सिकेंट्स, अल्कोहल ये सब नहीं लेना है। नॉट टू यूज़ सेंटेड गुड्स, कोई भी सुगंधित वाली चीज़ें यूज़ नहीं करनी है। नॉट टू स्लीप ऑन क्यूशन, जैसे हम अच्छे बेड में सोते हैं वो सब नहीं होना चाहिए। नॉट टू कीप मनी, और आपके पास पैसे नहीं होने चाहिए। The viharas, so the bhikshus and the bhikshunis were required to roam about in different parts of the country for 8 months of the year. मतलब हर साल 8 मंथ के लिए उन्हें बाहर घूमना पड़ेगा। They had to sleep in viharas which had separate section for men and women. Special rules were framed for the bhikshunis. This was done to ensure discipline. In the viharas, the members led of a life of chastity, austerity, devotion, and purity. Now, sects of Buddhism, as in the Chinese, we had seen it's divided into two parts, Digambara and Shvetambara. In the same way, Buddhist council also divided into two parts, which is called Hinayana and Mahayana. So, in the fourth Buddhist council, in the reign of Kanishka, Buddhists split into two sects, which we call Hinayana and Mahayana. So now Hinayana. So Hinayana stood the following the doctrine of Buddha in latent spirit. So they denied the existence of God and they followed the eightfold path is the only means of salvation. So it shuns idol worship and does not believe the Buddha was God. Buddha was regarded as a human being who attained enlightenment and nirvana through his own efforts. Pali was used by the followers of Hinayana as a language of its scripture. The Hinayana sect is found in India, Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Lakshadweep. Mahayana means greater vehicle of salvation. So it is a combination of Buddhism and Hinduism. Mahayana believed that Buddha was an incarnation of God. He was the one who could ensure salvation. Simultaneously, the concept of Buddhism also developed. According to Mahayana, Buddhists were those holy Buddhists who had not as yet got nirvana like Buddha, but who were proceeding rapidly towards it. So in fact, they were Buddha in the making. They made their goal to attain Swarg, a state of bliss, rather than attaining nirvana. So the worship of images of Buddha and Buddhism became an important component of Mahayana. Buddhist scholars like Nagarjuna Asanga founded the Mahayana sect. They wrote their scriptures in Sanskrit. Kanishka was the follower of Mahayana. The followers of these sects are found in northwestern part of India, Southeast Asian countries, China and Japan. Like Mahavira, Lord Buddha also believed in ahimsa, which we call non-violence. So he also gave importance to sanctity of life and follow the path of non-violence. So in his conduct and values, he has given that superiority is based on birth, fellow feelings, compassion for young and weak true men and women to Buddhist teachings. Means that we should be compassion for everyone, which we can see from our surrounding, and especially for the weaker person, for the woman and for the young ones, we should be full of compassion. Influence on religious life. So Buddhists provide a challenge to Hinduism. They soon started a reform movement within Hinduism. The costly yajnas and sacrifice and rigidity of caste systems were done away with. So that's why some of the peoples, those who are just against of this caste system and yajnas, they start the reform movement. This influence on social life. So if it fosters intellectual tradition and expose the weakness in our society, the weaker section of the society who had been subjected to many atrocities got an opportunity to have this say in matters of political and social life. Means they also get equal opportunity as the powerful peoples were getting. Impacts. The republics of Sakyas, Vajis, and Malas embraced Buddhism. Ashoka and Kanishka made Buddhism their state religion. Impact. Buddhism spread far and wide of Southeast Asia, China, and Sri Lanka. It had a far-reaching cultural impact in raising the prestige of India. There emerged close cultural contact between these countries and India. Buddhism acted as a vital force between different cultures. Literature. Buddhism made valuable contribution to the field of language and literature. A vast and varied nature of literature was produced in the language of the masses like Pali, that is Pali. The Triptakas and the Jatakas are the most important literary work of the Buddhists. Besides this, other literary work of importance written in Pali language are Mahavams, Deepavams, Divyavadana, Lalit Vitsara, Saundaranand, and Buddha Charita are significant works of Buddhist literature written in Sanskrit. And architecture. So Buddhists made immense contribution to the evolution of art and architecture. Stupas, chaityas, viharas, and rock-cut cave temples were their unique contribution. The stupa is a semi-spherical solid dome-like structure containing the relics of Buddha like hair, teeth, and bones. The stupas at Sachi, Bhaurat, and Amravati are remarkable specimens of art surviving up to this day. The chaityas were rectangular halls with a semi-circular roof supported by a number of columns. These halls were meant for worship. The viharas were the monastery for the monks to live in. Later, when statues of Buddhas began to be carved and after the Christian era, there emerged several schools of art and architecture. Even during modern times, especially during the time of Ashoka, stone cutting and chiseling of pillars required high technical skill. Kind of Buddhism. So first is split in Buddhism, like as I told you before that it is divided into two parts. That's why this split-ins makes the less popularity and prestige of the Buddhism. Differences had begun to surface right from Second Buddhist Council. So it has different you can say it's divide the followers, and they have a different concept about the Buddhist religion to follow it. Language. So it's teaching in Pali and Sanskrit language. So these two languages are not known by everyone. So these two is also this one is also the biggest reason for that the less number of people will follow Buddhism. Now the next is corruption in sanghs. The monks and nuns, they started living a luxurious life. There were deterioration in the spiritual life. Buddhism had received patronage of royalty and had become very rich. The monks and nuns used the riches for the personal benefit. They began to lead a worldly life, therefore the religious decline was not a surprise. Next is reform in Hinduism. So reform movement in Hinduism started with full vigor once the appeal of new religion vanished. Hindus assimilated the positive aspect of Buddhism. Even foreign invaders and settlers adopted Hinduism as their new religion. Among these are included the Shakas and the Savanas. Invasions from the 8th century AD, the Turkish invasion dealt to blow to Buddhists. The monastery which had accumulated great wealth were looted. The invaders plundered the monastery of Nalanda and Takshila and forced some of the monks to flee to neighboring countries like Nepal and Tibet. Patronage, Rajput rulers were warlike and could not follow the policy of ahimsa. So besides, the kings of Gupta period patronized temples in honor of Hindu gods and goddesses. Thus, the lack of royal patronage brought about the decline of Buddhism. Similarities between Jainism and Buddhism. So the founders of both religion, Mahavir and Gautam Buddha, had similar backgrounds. Both them belonged to a Kshatriya clan and followed the same path. Second, both sought the attainment of salvation moksha from the cycle of birth and death. Both did not accept the Vedas. Non-violence was their creed. Monks and nuns of the Buddhist and Jains has to renounce family life and the world. They had to lead a life of chastity.